Hi everyone, Lindsey Elocin Hooper here. Once again, this is the third time I have recorded this video today. I've had a lot of resistance via technology and etc. So I haven't uploaded a video in about a month, and as a life coach for Golden Almach Creation and communications director for Create Disclosure, I have a duty to explain to you why. I'm a human, just like everyone else. So therefore, the past month, I've done a lot of reflecting and healing and going within. And this is one thing that I really want to speak about today. One thing that we all do is when we decide to heal, what we end up doing is reverting back to the past as a tool for healing. For when we revisit the past, what happens is we think, okay, this is what I did wrong, so this is what I need to change, modify, and create in order to better my future so that I can accomplish my goal. Yet the thing, unfortunately, about humans is that we are so used to a negative vibration and negativity and being held within a box because that's the way we're conditioned. Literally from the time of birth, we're given a social security number, born to parents, we're given a culture, we're told how to act, what to do, what to expect, and who eventually to be. From the time we're one or two, and conscious, we're planning out we're being told who to be 50 years into the future. So that's very difficult. So we're almost robbed of our ability to hold a higher vibration and high expectations and ambition and individuality. So it's hard for us to even begin to know how to think for ourselves. And honestly, it's all about unlearning, okay, what we've been taught and our habits of thinking, because this is going to determine your future. So one thing I've noticed as a life coach, this is what we do. When we revisit the past to find these tools in order to learn from and to benefit and to grow, we end up staying there. Number one, what I want to say to you all, and this is very important, the past is a point of reflection. It is not a destination. For if you remain anywhere for too long, it will swallow you whole. Whether it's internally, physically, etc. For example, you stay in a certain place your entire life. Maybe it's your hometown, maybe it's a place you moved to and it's filled with negativity, and you keep repeating these energetic patterns. Same thing with the past. When you stay in the past, yes, you're trying to visit and go there to learn things, so you can't recreate the same mistakes. Yet what happens is a lot of us get stuck in that vibration because that's what we're used to. As I said previously, we get stuck in this negative form of thinking because it's comfortable to us. It's comfortable for some reason, even though it hurts really bad, to think about the past and the mistakes that we created and that we committed in the past, So we end up staying there. We end up being really critical of ourselves and what we did. Therefore, we go in while we're in the past. It's much easier while we're living in the past and being critical. It's much easier to continue making those mistakes. So therefore, I urge you not to stay there. And I'm just going to give you one example, okay, from a client that I had about 2 to 3 years ago. He told me that he was done with drinking. He didn't want to drink anymore. He'd gotten in a huge fight with his girlfriend because he hadn't been drinking for X amount of months, or he'd been taking it slower, or what have you. And he's like, I don't want to go to this bar. I don't want to drink. I want to better myself. I need to love myself. She needs to love herself. She's had a horrible past, and except the list goes on. So what he does is for about 2 days, he's going into his past and he's thinking, how can I change? How can I change? And he's reminding himself of all these bad things. But while he's doing that, he's energetically getting stuck there. So what happens when he arrives home? He goes to the same bar, surrounds himself with the same people, and he's not even consciously aware of it. Because what's going on is within his subconscious, because he hasn't retrained his way of thinking and tuned his subconscious into his consciousness. He hasn't connected the two, because there within lies in our subconscious is what is going on within and what has happened. All of our memories from past lives and etc., even the past, just period, even if you don't believe in past lives, just simply the past, okay? It's stored in the subconscious. We need to remember these things. So the past, it almost reminds me of quicksand. It really can engulf you. And I say this from experience because I have battled depression. I have been there. I am that person who has, battled anxiety and depression. And I have to fight myself, my shadow self. We all have to do that as humans. The most successful people out there didn't get to where they are by remaining comfortable and feeling okay. They didn't say, hey, okay, I'm going to just, what they did is they learned how to balance. They found that middle ground in between their past, their present, and their future. And they learned how to balance it and not remain there for too long. They learned how to modify their abilities when going into their past, so that when they gathered the information from their past, they came up with new skills, tools, and abilities in order to initiate steps into reaching their goal for the future. So what I want to do in the time remaining I have left is explain and give you guys some tips into how to get out of the past, get out of the negative thinking, get out of the depression, get out of the anxiety. And it's not going to happen overnight. It could take years, In fact, it may, It's just one of those things. Yet it's so easy, it's so difficult, but it's only as difficult as you are going to make it in your mind, because what happens here happens in here, okay, and in the physical. So what I urge you guys to do is, when you are reliving the past and you're being critical, okay, and you're thinking of this goal, who you want to be, say, okay, I want to be an artist. I really want to create. I want to be a film producer. I want to be a painter. I want to be a poet. I want to be a singer. I want to be an inspiration. I want to do something. So what you do, instead of staying in the past, you access the past for a bit, okay? You make a list of what you did wrong. Then you make a list side by side of the things that you can tweak to modify, the tools that you can use. Okay, so I did this, so how can I do it differently next time? Okay, now, even if you want to start out day by day, week by week, it can work. You may want to make a weekly list of things you can do to reach your goal, or you may want to make a daily list. It's totally up to you. I recommend start by getting a journal of sorts. That's number one. You need something to write on. You need something to plan, something tangible that you can visually hold in your hands. Because what happens is, when we set a goal, when we're looking at the past, we set a goal. And what we do as humans, we tend to just visualize where we want to be and who we want to be, instead of analyzing and focusing on the steps and a plan and the achievements that we are going to need in order to reach our goal. And this is why sometimes setting a goal and just focusing on the goal, it sets us up for failure, because we're ignoring those steps in between that we need to get there, because we want something immediately. We want self-gratification. We're humans. We don't want to do the work. We're spoiled. We're numbed. We're brainwashed, okay? So you take these little steps, okay? You write down, what can you do in 1 week to get closer to your goal? For example, if you want to be a painter, say you need to gather an easel. You need an easel. You need canvas. You need paints. You need paintbrushes, okay? Say you want to get all 3 or 4 of those within 1 week. You know what? Even if you purchase one, okay, and you spend your money on things you shouldn't have, because you're trying to not spend money like you used to do in the past and waste money like you used to do in the past. Say you only are able to purchase one thing, okay? You're only able to buy some brushes in 1 week. Guess what? Write that down and be grateful that you at least reached that goal. And so maybe the next week you can save a little bit more money to put towards the next tool. Say it, albeit 1 tube of paint. It's okay if you fall upon trying to reach your goal, because when you stumble, guys, even if you stumble, when you get back up, you're able to walk a little bit better towards the direction of your success. So this is what I urge you to do. Write down the list of things that you're grateful for. If you have a roof over your head, if you have food to eat, if you have a lot of things, you are doing much better than some people. So please write the things down that you're grateful for. And when you're going over this list at the end of the day, if you want to do it daily or weekly, when you write down what you did accomplish to get closer to that goal, that's going to cause you to be more confident. Say, okay, it's okay if I didn't get it all done, but at least I did this. All right? And even if you didn't accomplish that one thing, write down what you can do to change your plan to make sure you accomplish it the next time. All right? It's all about constantly trying and never giving up. All right? It's not done overnight, but you can get there. You can get there, I promise you. If I can get there, if loads of these other entrepreneurs and successful people can get there, so can you. It takes a lot, but you can do it. And it's not going to happen overnight, like I said. It takes willpower, it takes courage, it takes determination. It goes the same for, just make sure, if you want to become healthier, stronger, you want to start working out. And you're like, "Oh, I don't have stamina." Well, the first week, what you can do is practice breathing exercises. That's one thing that can increase your stamina. Simple breathing. So guys, baby steps. It's okay. But remember, do not get stuck on the past. Continue to move forward. Keep that balance. Remain that middle ground so you can be okay with who you are. All right, guys, I hope that was a nice, short, quick few tips to getting you through the week and or month or year. All right, I hope everyone has a wonderful week, evening, night, wherever you are out there. All right, see you next time. By the way, you can also find me, the links below, via Twitter, Instagram, Golden Almach Creation, the links if you need to get in touch with me. Thank you guys for all of your support. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for you. So lots of love.